TNA. We are old guys pretending to be DX and then be really offensive towards women.
Samoa Joe.
He's that.
He's bad. We have Muhammad Ali in the opening bit for no reason.
Hello and welcome to Sam's on Wrestling. This is our pay-per-view review series, Sam's on Old Wrestling. We are in the TNA realm. It's the Kurt Angle's initial run in TNA, and we've fallen upon Final Resolution, the first pay-per-view of 2007. Sam, TNA, how are you feeling so far about TNA?
Well, okay, so I enjoyed... we'll get to it.
Well, ellipsis.
Yeah. I enjoyed the first two. I think... Because I haven't watched this, it's all very new to me. Where it's not so new to you. It's more nostalgia for you.
It's nostalgia, but also I don't think I watched any of the pay-per-views. Like that's the thing is I think I might have watched bits in and out and stuff like that. So I'm like, it's still new to me. I know of all of it.
Yeah. See, the good thing is it's quite enjoyable because I'm going into these matches having no clue what happens in any of them, which is nice. It's almost like I'm watching it live as it's happening. So that is fun. Although this is, we'll get to it. This is the third best of the bunch for me.
It's the third album. It's an interesting one, but we are doing TNA's Final Resolution 2007. So from January 14th, 2007, still in the Impact Zone, 35,000 buys. Same as the last month. So they got 25,000 turned up to watch Joe and Angle the first time, and then went, I don't want to watch it 2 more times.
Yeah.
I'm alright. Do you know what the tagline was for this, by the way?
Go on.
Joe is gonna kill you.
Fairs.
Lads, that's a crime.
Yeah.
You can have it as a crowd chant. You can't have it as a tagline.
You can, they're not a public company, they do what they like.
Could you imagine if it was like HSBC, gonna kill you?
I buy it. I respect the upfrontness. So, yeah, I like it.
Then we got the opening video package, and it was like the 7 deadly sins. But TNA, because they always have to add extra, Vince Russo has a thing, and then has to put
seasoning
extra
on the seasoning.
You know, he adds 2 more. Can't be a flag match. Has to be a flag match with ladders. You know. And do you know what? Did you see what the 2 new sins were?
Go on.
Betrayal and hate. Practically wrath. Then it's just wrath. Then, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm going to be quite angry. Hate comes in wrath.
Yeah, betrayal is the same thing. But yes, I liked it. What I liked about the opening package, Muhammad Ali was there. Sure, okay, why not?
Hi.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, he wasn't there. Clips of Muhammad Ali was there.
I wasn't trying to claim that he made a TNA appearance in 2007. But I like that at least... for me, I don't know what's going on in the month. I'm coming into this very cold, and it really recapped me on what's going on, the main stories. I thought the Angle Joe build from this video package looks awesome.
Looks awesome. Yeah, it does.
Yeah. The Abyss, I wrote down the Sting Abyss one, looks questionable, but when I saw the promo, it looked a bit better.
But...
Because you've got conflict with the Abyss character, but it does look a mess.
It is a mess. My things I will take away from the opening video package is, we can change your future. And you will die. It's only wrestling, lads.
It's not only wrestling to me, damn it.
Calm it down a bit. Jesus.
No, I liked it.
Match number 1. Holy crap. Last man standing.
I know, I loved it.
As your opener, AJ Styles versus Rhino. But how will AJ beat Rhino in a last man standing? I mean, if he can't win by roll-up, Sam, that seems to be the only way AJ Styles can win. Why do large men lose to roll-ups?
Well, because they've got they're heavy, so it's hard for them to get their own body weight off of themselves.
Rhino is 270 pounds, and AJ is 200 ringing wet. Are you telling me if he's kind of pressing you down, Rhino can't, with his unbelievable legs, can't just go?
Well, no, because it's Rhino's own weight on top of him, isn't it?
Sam. That's not how weight works.
I've decided... I'm trying to help them.
You can't just go, I'm a heavy person, so if I lie down, I can't. They'll never be able to get out of bed.
Because it's not about their legs are on top of them. I'm trying to help TNA here, alright? It works. Just stop questioning it, Sam. You're the only person in the world questioning this specific topic. How do big guys lose to roll-ups? Get over it, Sam, and enjoy your wrestling.
Fine, I'll enjoy the wrestling. Let's see how long that lasts.
Not very long.
So Rhino does a top rope plunger. Oh, God bless 2007. When that was a thing that we cared, and we don't care anymore, because at the time, wow. Ooh, Spanish announcers.
I saw this and literally immediately wrote down, that Spanish announce table is doomed.
Table will not last. But it did.
It did.
It lives! The Spanish announce
The streak is over.
That's because they're LAX shirts. No one ain't going to mess around.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't mess around with LAX. That's what's going on. And then, last man standing matches shouldn't have a drop toe hold in them. That's all I'm saying. One of the first moves hit, drop toe hold. Just a last man standing, choke with a tape. Ah, that's better. Much better. Ref's back turned, low blow. Don't need to turn your back. Then a pin.
Yeah, this is when I realised what was going on.
Wait. What?
Fans don't really get it either.
Okay, it's a pin from a low blow, very early, in a last man... Oh, TNA, what are you doing?
This is when I realised what was going on.
For God's sake, Vince Russo! I don't know if this is an old... I do know that there are some old last man standing matches like back at Deer, which used to be pin 10 count.
Makes no sense.
But in the grand scheme of things, it's not actually a 10 count you're looking for. It's a 13 count you're looking for. What are you doing? They had to pin, and then they started a 10 count.
They're so determined to be different from WWE that they have to throw this in. It doesn't add to it at all. And because I remember I saw Rhino got the 3 count, and no one cared because it was like 3. I've never heard such silence after the
for a 3 count.
Because the crowd know, oh, well, the match is still not going to be over. So it doesn't matter. So what's the point?
I had a look at this. I had a pro and a con. Like, I tried to come one. I tried to do yay and a nay. So let's do yay and nay. Welcome to yay and nay of pins with last man standing. The yay, you don't get constant 10 counts. You know, because I've added the last man standing to my most hated match types. I can now add it even more, thanks TNA. But I hate because it is just constant. Once you're doing the match, just stalls. So it does get rid of that. You only get 10 counts after a pin. But how many pins can you have, and how weak is it going to make somebody look?
Yes. And the thing I did write down for this, when Rhino got the 3 count and then, they did the 10 count, the one thing I did write down, which I will take back later, but at the time, I said I actually liked the 10 count that the ref did at the time was actually quite quick.
Very quick, yeah.
Even though you needed the 3 count, he did a quick count like in boxing. So that worked for me because it wasn't the largest. But then later on, we went to the slow count.
Do you remember the move that Rhino used to get the 3 count?
Spine buster, wasn't it?
It was a spine buster.
I don't mind those moves getting a 3 count, but not in the last man standing match on a pay-per-view.
Yeah, but it just means AJ sucks, man.
Yeah.
Like, on Dynamite, on Raw, SmackDown, and on Impact, maybe. But at the same time, wow, AJ looks like a chump, doesn't he? They then got up from the 10 count, and they just kind of stood, and then kind of stared, as if they were trying to create a moment. But it's like, lads, you've had 2 pinfalls, no one cares. And then they start doing weak punches, and the crowd are silent. Yeah. Like, silent for punches. Like, the whole hockey punch thing. Like, what happened to the heat from the last match where we watched it in the last Turning Point?
Because you've overbooked it.
This stipulation isn't working. You've killed the heat that this match has. Atomic drop onto a table on its side. That's really cool. So Rhino's balls have now taken an absolute pounding.
Yeah, but I thought it was really cool. A good inventive spot.
Gore!
Yeah.
Best spear in history, according to us.
Yeah.
Go and watch our bracket series on who has the best. But it was like a mini gore.
Yeah, it was a little bit.
So we needed to set up. So we needed to set up for the main gore. Bigger gore. Gore with a capital G. 3 count. Rhino then starts messing about with the table. So thanks for telling us that that's not going to be the end of the match. That won't be a 10
Yeah,
count.
I saw that as well, yeah.
Yeah, oh, so thanks. Then, he's up to 8. He's going to get up. But then AJ sits down, and okay, we've talked about this, the swerve for a swerve's sake to kind of go against wrestling trope. It's a good thing and a bad thing. Yeah. You literally had Rhino setting the table, so you're going, well, this match isn't over. But it then meant that the match had 0 heat going toward the end. If you do the swerve to go, you think it's ending, but it has ended, you go, oh. Happens a lot in ECW. Watch ECW matches, the crowd don't pop for the finish, because like, oh, that's the finish. But then AJ just sits down and takes a loss at 15:06. Why? Because you now think you can't beat Rhino because you've been gored. Oh, I won't be able to do it now. But you can clearly get to your feet. Counter. Low blow him. Get out the ring.
Yeah.
Get a breather. I hate this. Really? This sucks. And then Rhino just chases him off.
Well, yeah, so I said it was an interesting finish. I hadn't seen it before. Someone just copping out of a last man standing match and kind of forfeiting it, but it doesn't make
it's a last man standing for a reason.
Yeah.
You're in a blood feud, and all this jazz. Why would you have the match in the first place if you're then just going to cop out? Oh, because you're not going to win at that point. I hate you're not going to win at that point. It's really stupid. I hate this. I always do a review. The match I will give 2. And I think they can thank me for that. Storyline is now cold. I
Yeah.
thought this, going into this, I thought it was really strong. And
I
it's just,
enjoyed it.
the more and more this match went on, the more and more I was dropping and dropping and dropping. And roll-ups have been the winner, but I thought it was about respect. And now suddenly it's about... I gave it 2.5 for the storyline, straight down the middle. Who will I say? So 4.5 out of 10. And do you know what? They can thank me for 4.5 out of 10. But then, Rhino caught AJ.
Well, that's the thing. So it's weird because they moved on and were talking on commentary. They do this a lot and then came back. But I just felt I got what they were going for because it's a realistic feel. But it did hurt the momentum a little bit.
Yeah, you're right. Because everyone, pile driver on the ramp. Do it in the match.
Yeah.
And no, I will not call it a Rhino driver.
Oh, is that the name?
They were saying on commentary. It's just a pile driver, lads. Gore attempt through a table. Drop toe hold. I was wrong.
Yeah, you were wrong.
I was wrong.
Foreshadowing.
Drop toe holds are the way through in last man standing matches. So it literally goes for the Gore. Drop toe hold through the table. That actually at least was vaguely good.
Oh, I agree, but I just think why not have that be the finish to the match?
Exactly what I've written down.
Because I realise you can't because you have to have AJ then roll right into the ring for the 3 count.
And
so they ruined it.
Yeah, it's a mess.
But that would be in a normal last
Just do a normal last man standing.
That would be the way to do it.
Yeah, well, that sucked. Match number 2. It's Sabin versus Jerry Lynn versus Christopher Daniels. It's the past. It's the present versus the future. That's a genius booking idea. I absolutely love that because that's never been done before in my eyes. An actual physical past, present, future. I really like that. Then they have a video package. They say the word respect 6 times.
Yeah.
Calm it down, lads.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. Now, seeing an issue with this pay-per-view already, immediately at this point, 4 of the matches are rematches from Turning Point.
Oh, yeah.
And you start going, oh no, there's a reason people don't talk about this show. It literally is just Turning Point. And the matches aren't even that much up to 11. We have a last man standing. We have the Kurt and Joe have their Iron Man, but it's half an hour. And then the rest is just, and now Jerry Lynn gets added to this.
What I also thought is kayfabe wise, why does Sabin keep getting the title shots? Because he continuously loses clean.
Yes,
so that was a bit of an issue for me. Also, can we talk about the interview that Jerry Lynn did before this?
Jerry Lynn promo.
He is supposed to be a babyface here. He comes off as incredibly mean and dislikable.
Yes, he does. He keeps because he literally. Essentially, he's picking on the fact that JB is saying things that make him sound old, which doesn't actually.
No.
You can have...
You're a pioneer. That's a good thing.
You can be a pioneer at 21. If you do something... like, Simone Biles was a pioneer because she did a brand new move that never been done in the Olympics. And she was like, what, 7?
Yeah.
She wasn't old. But here's the thing, right? They kept banging on about being old, didn't they? Jerry Lynn's 43.
This is what I had. I love that. I find it adorable that back then they thought 43 was old for a wrestler.
2025
10 years later.
Very different age. Like, hell, Chris Sabin's 43 now.
Yeah, CM Punk's 46 now.
Hang on. Sting's in the main event.
Oh my god.
He's 47.
Yeah.
He's going for the NWA title.
True. And look how old he wrestled to.
Forget the fact he wrestled in his 60s. They're literally calling him old and he shouldn't be wrestling. Could you get through this match? And Sting's in the main event.
And he moved completely fine because 43 isn't that old.
43 is not old.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You keep telling yourself that, son. Because you're nearly there. Yeah.
3-way crisscross.
Oh,
yes!
Yes.
Suddenly I'm watching wrestling from the 60s.
Yes.
3-way crisscross. Head scissor choke by Daniels on the outside, but huge boot by Sabin. And this is when we discover that Christopher Daniels keeps forgetting that Chris Sabin's in this match.
Yes.
Is what we discovered. Weird kind of cross-face submission by Daniels, but top rope boot by Sabin to break it up because he forgot that he was in the match.
Yes. That happened a few times.
Are you still got it chant? Which is lovely for a 43-year-old, but did you hear when they were chanting it?
No.
Daniels and Sabin were working in the ring. He was on the outside selling. He was on the outside lying down.
That's selling. Well
you
done.
still got it. Lying on the floor. He wasn't doing anything. He wasn't even in the ring. But he comes in and shows that he still got it with a double missile drop kick. Lovely. To both men. Gorgeous. Head scissor number 1. Head scissor number 2. Oh, is it 2002 all over again?
A little bit.
Only, we got, 4 and a bit years ago, guys. And I know Vince Russo books like a million miles an hour, but time is still relative. That's the sentence they said. Is it 2002 all over again? It was 4 years ago.
Yeah.
4 and a bit years ago.
Literally.
And they're saying, Is it 2002?
That's like us saying, is this 2021?
Like-
Like it's some really far off, place.
Jericho was very different. Actually, maybe.
Maybe.
Oh, do you know what? Time is relative.
Only for Jericho. Everyone else is fine.
3-man off the top rope bulldog flatliner thing. Big TNA chant. Probably the only time we're going to get a TNA chant for the rest of the night. Best moonsault ever! And then we get the cradle pile driver, but like a back one. What a cool move!
Oh, it's great.
That's your finish, lads. Don't do anything else. But then cradle pile driver, but Saban rolls up Lynn, holds the tights, and Saban becomes the X Division champion in 11:50. Sam, what did you think of that match?
I think it's a decent match, and I like the finish because...
Why wasn't it the opener?
Oh, no, agree. It's perfect opener, isn't it? That's exactly an ideal, like, triple threat, cruiserweight opener. I like the finish. The problem is, I just assume it means we're going to get more of those three wrestling. You never really see these storylines conclude. Like, you never see, like, okay, this is the line. And it feels like their division is very thin because they keep using the same cast.
Well, they're being used in Kevin Nash's thing.
Yeah.
The thing about this match I had a problem with is it was all about Jerry Lynn. Chris Sabin was just not a factor in this match until the winning at the end. Where was he?
Yeah.
Where was Chris Sabin in this match?
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather just watch Sabin and Daniels again. Jerry Lynn weirdly got in the way. Not because he did anything wrong, but they made the match all about him and then didn't have him win. So I gave the match 3 stars. Just above average. The storyline, 2.5.
Yeah.
It's still very middling. A lot of these storylines are very middling in TNA. Nothing special, I don't think.
Oh, yes, I was waiting for him.
You're just watching these shows going, where's Kevin?
Yeah. And I just
Where's
put on
Kevin?
my notes, Kevin in all caps, exclamation marks. I was very excited.
We're going to have to get used to it because this is the end of this kind of paparazzi thing. Will we get Kevin? Will he be there with our next few shows? I actually don't know.
Oh, no.
If we get no Kevin,
I'm quitting.
what are we going to do?
we
need Kevin. We need Kevin.
This
Kevin
started
Nash.
as the Angle Joe series, and
But
now
it's-
this has become the Kevin Nash.
It's the Kevin Nash. It's the
Yeah.
Kevin. I might just change the name on the thing. It's
Yeah.
it's like Kurt Angle's initial run. It's Kevin Nash, the MVP of our show. So it's the finals of the Paparazzi Championship.
This segment, man.
Oh God!
Oh.
It's Bob
I
Backlund.
popped so hard for Bob. And it was the most random. I'm watching
Hang
a
on.
random.
No. Stop.
Oh, right.
So I get what you want to do, but Sam, instead of us talking about this promo, how about we recreate this promo,
Sure.
shall we?
Can I be Bob Backlund?
You can be Bob Backlund. Sorry for my handwriting
Are we
because I
gonna
was
do a sight
writing
reading,
this.
are we?
We're going to do a sight reading. We're actors. I've got the 2 pages. This is the Bob Backlund
This
and
is
Kevin
brilliant.
Nash interaction, where clearly one starts improvising,
Yes.
and the other didn't know what to do and starts improvising back. So here we go.
Okay, I'm going to Bob Backlund.
There you go. So Bob's there.
Good to see you. Where you been?
How long's it been?
I don't know.
Been up and down the road together.
What road?
Partying, cocktails.
Never been in a car with you. Don't know you.
Milwaukee?
I've not been to Milwaukee. Everyone knows that.
Not with me.
No.
Chicago?
I've never been to Chicago also.
With me? Detroit?
No.
Vegas. It was Scott Hall. It's great to have you here tonight for the first PCS.
Yeah, good to be here.
I might fall on your shoulders.
TNA, yes.
Oh, exactly. I want to know if you're up for the challenge.
No, well, I'm up for the challenge. Did you put the gentleman through the right torture chamber? Did they do that 1,000 squats a day? They do the hardest step test. Is that step test?
It was step test.
That hardest step test for an hour a day. They learn to do takedowns, reversals, and pinning combinations of the crossface chicken wing. Didn't they learn that, young man?
We did pogo, limbo, and yet musical chairs. We all went and had a drink until someone puked. That was pretty tough. What was that?
Loved it. I love that segment.
What? That's most of my notes for this show.
That is the transcript of the verbatim conversation. This is one of my favourite segments of all time. Because you know, like, we've done it as actors before, where you're doing an improv and you just know it's absolutely rubbish and it's going nowhere, but you're trying to save it. Kevin Nash was trying to save it so much.
Yeah, but the thing is, Kevin Nash's role was why it went downhill, because Bob Backlund clearly had a script of, have you done this, have you done that? And I go, no, we did silly games. That was clearly the point.
Yeah.
But Kevin Nash went, where have you been? And Bob was like, I've never been in TNA. What do you mean? You're like, I've never been in a car with you. And Kevin's like, What do you mean?
So he's not going along with Kevin.
Kevin.
What Kevin's offered him.
It's yes, and.
It's literally the yes and game.
And then he literally Kevin started to try and get it back on, like track, and he went TNA. I was like, exactly.
It's the delivery of Bob's lines. It's golden.
It's the pause between torture and chamber. Have you put them through the appropriate torture? Chamber
just comes up with words, and then he kind of just is saying things, and then he comes up, the crossface chicken wing. Yes, that's
oh my god.
And Sam, the beauty of it is the segment is not over.
No, it's not.
This is merely Act 1 of the segment.
Act 1.
The camera never cuts.
They never cuts because they get this weird thing of he just kind of stares at him for a bit,
and you think that's the end
and
of the
you
segment.
think you're going to do a staring bit and awkward JB, and then Eric Young appears, and he's got more inside. He's got the "Don't Fire Eric," so clearly he's in this chant where they're going with the crown because he's got the Bobby Roode storyline, which is not on the show. It's really annoying, but he's going, "I'm going to fire you," and you're fired, and the crowd are with him. Don't fire Eric. Yeah. Don't fire, but he's clearly get fired, and they do loads of skits with JB about getting together. They go and buy condoms at a shop, and he's going, "Oh, I need extra small, JB." And it's really great. TikTok on our career. Take me shopping. Hello, Mr. President. I voted for you in 1995.
The election was in 2000. It was both.
What was?
They were in both. It's 75 years, Bob.
Oh my god. What? No. He went for president in 2000.
Did he?
Yeah, Bob Backlund returned at the Royal Rumble 2000, probably as the first ever surprise entrant because he was running for office. Maybe not necessarily president, but he was running for office. That was what the joke was.
I thought the joke was Eric Young didn't know who Bob Backlund was, but he looked like a president, so he thought he was the president.
No, he was running for official or fake office in 2000.
What? How would it be fake office?
I don't know. I don't know if it was kayfabe or not.
You never know. He really worked you.
Bob, I don't know.
I never knew that. Oh my god.
Right. Then we get a video package of the Paparazzi Championship. Now, last time we watched at Turning Point, they had a 5-man elimination match, all about wrestling, really good. But they showed them doing limbo, pogo jumps.
I thought when Kevin Nash did that thing of, we did limbo, I thought that was just a funny ad-lib joke. No, they literally did do it the weeks before. I love it.
Senshi there.
Yeah.
One of the best wrestlers at the time. I've got a few quotes from this video package alone.
I know my number one.
Go on then, give me your number one.
Inspirational chlamydia. That's my favourite one.
But wouldn't it be an inspirational story of someone with chlamydia 1?
How about that? Because they say, you've got chlamydia. Hey, wouldn't it be good if someone with chlamydia won this?
He's in the Motor City Machine Guns.
I love it.
We haven't done this since 1934. A Backlund bob off. European rules. Please feel free to kiss everyone. From the island of Anabolic, it's Sanjay Dutt. Oh, Kevin, I'm going to miss you if you're not around. Please be around. Oh my god, it's match number 3. It's the Paparazzi Championship Series final. Alex Shelley versus Austin Starr in a 10-minute time limit. Thanks for telling me that it's going to be a 10-minute time limit because you've got judges in case there's a draw. Thanks for telling me the result.
I would have found it hilarious if someone won and rendered the judges useless.
Why watch the match?
But Sam, this little probably like 5 or 10 minutes before the match, this is more entertaining to me than any wrestling that's on now. I just think, why don't people just get to mess about anymore and really
it's so silly,
Everything's too structured. Even WWE, though, they've gotten better. We don't get that kind of improvisation stuff. We get some R-Truth comedy here and there, which is okay. But this is ridiculous. And the nature of this is sometimes you're going to bad, and it's going to be bad, right? But sometimes you're going to get absolute stupid gold like this. And I think this is wonderful.
Kevin Nash is on commentary! Hey! We're there introduced to all the judges. Judge number 1, Somalian Joe. From Madagascar.
He could be mixed heritage,
And then it's big fat oily guy.
That was a shock.
Why are we keeping that gimmick going, lads?
But then he turned out to be my favourite judge.
Of course he did. And then it's Bob Backlund.
He will ruin it later.
Will Bob not do anything for money?
Oh, no chance.
He will literally do anything. I'll give you a few little quotes from Kevin Nash's commentary just to get it out of the way. What did it go? An hour? About 8 seconds. Been telling my wife 8 seconds is an hour.
He broke one of the commentators. He
broke Don West.
Yeah.
A big fat oily guy was marking a Chinese menu the whole time.
Yeah.
Right. Right, let's talk about this match.
Yeah.
Who cares about this match? Let's just quickly run through it because the match is, it's going 10 minutes.
But
so...
you almost focus on the match in terms of who's got the upper hand more.
Yeah.
That's what you're judging
But
on.
I didn't care about that.
Agreed.
Twisted corkscrew over the top rope. Did you see that? That's 1 point for me. Love it. Did you see it? Like a little child. You know when a child does something. Did you see me, Dad? Did you see me? It's like what's it? The turtle from Finding Nemo.
Yes.
Will you go squirt?
Oh.
Drop kick to the buttocks.
Yes.
1 point for me. 1 minute to go. I wonder where this is going.
Yeah.
Camel clutch. 15 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shelley hangs on. The most obvious time limit draw
Sam, I think
ever.
You're missing a golden moment
Go
from
on,
the
then.
match itself. Where we obviously occasionally we'll go to Backlund and he's analysing it. So there's one angle where they're looking at Backlund and he's all serious and it's just panning this way and the fat guy's just eating a nacho. After Backlund's looking at his, then the mask guy's going like, yeah. And I wrote down, somehow the fat oily guy is more pale than you.
Yes.
And it's the first person I've ever seen apart from Sheamus.
And they're in Florida as well.
Oh, exactly.
Of all places.
Exactly. It was insane.
Get some sun, man. Get
He
some
was
sun.
my favourite judge. I just loved him.
Do you know what? I gave more respect to him than I gave Bob Backlund.
Oh,
I'll tell you that. Okay, so we've got this time limit draw. So to the judges. Smalley and Joe has awarded it to Austin Starr. Bit contentious, fair enough. Big fat oily guy gave it to Alex Shelley. I am shocked. Look at my face, Sam. It's 1-all.
Couldn't believe it.
Then Bob Backlund
And ruins everything.
kills a segment.
Yeah.
Dead.
Yeah. Everyone was really into this.
They were kind of into it. It wasn't great. And then I was going to write down everything he said, and I lost interest so fast that I just scrapped it. Like, he was running down all his scores, and I get the gimmick was he overanalyzed it, but he kept saying like nothing. Like when he get his first score, did you hear what the first fan said? There was a fan in the crowd went, when he went, I give for the Cerebral Troopers, it was 93. A fan in the crowd went, what the f? And everyone laughed.
Yeah.
And I respect that fan for timing it when there was a bit of silence to just yell, what the f? Absolute perfect. He kept saying like augment.
Yes.
He was obsessed with the word augment, and he said numbers. And I have a maths degree.
Oh.
That's one of my backgrounds. I generally have a maths degree, and I was confused. And then
yeah.
he calls it a draw anyway.
Exactly. So I literally just wrote here, an entertaining segment turned into a mess. Nash, please save us, as this was going on. I just thought, Nash, come in and sort this
Do you
out.
get the feeling that Nash called an audible here? Because this feels, I assume it wasn't, but it feels like, because Kevin Nash comes in and goes, give it 5 more minutes of overtime, and then Shelley just wins with a quick roll
Immediately. God. So TNA. What absolute nonsense this was. This had real potential for me because I was really on side, really enjoyed the nonsense of it, and it was just turned into a mess. It's Russo all over.
Yes, it really is.
So, as I said, the roll-up happened. And then you have the award ceremony.
A bowling trophy.
Yeah. But I like it because it's a stupid tournament, so give them the stupid trophy.
Let me give my analyst other thing, and then we'll talk about the afters. There is afters. Match, I gave it 1. I hated this. The match was boring. You're watching the entire time just watching the clock. You're just waiting for it. If I'm watching a clock waiting for a match, why should I care about the match? And the storyline, do you know what? Beforehand, I gave it a 2 because the paparazzi was it's a 1. This is just a mess. It doesn't get anybody over. It's awful. Absolutely awful. But Sam, we've got some afters. Do you want to talk about the afters? You can run us down the afters, Sam.
So I actually liked where this was maybe going, and then they undercut it anyway.
Immediately, straight away.
Yes. So the Austin thing of going, I'm sick of these stupid games. I'm better than you, and all this, and
Which is correct.
Yes, I hate
what a heel should do.
the fact that we've been taking the mick out of me. I don't want to play, stupid board games with you or poker or stuff like that. And I thought, okay, this is a nice little angle. Okay, then he gets Kaval Senshi.
So he does an impression of Senshi.
That's the impression.
He does an impression of Senshi,
Yes.
like, come with me. Told you in a really deep voice.
Yeah.
Everyone knew that. They laughed at that. They laughed at that.
It was funny. And then Senshi doesn't go with him.
He doesn't go. Senshi apparently loves pogo.
Yeah, which is fine. Then he
it's nice
starts...
to know what someone like Senshi does on his pastime, and he was like, "Oh, I'm really happy to be in the paparazzi
I think
championship."
he's happy to have some friends.
Yeah, of course.
I think fair dues.
Maybe
mate.
he's never had friends before. He looks too much like Hitman, the PlayStation game. He looks a lot like Hitman.
Exactly, like a hard surface but a soft underbelly inside.
What was it? Werther's original. Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like if I suck Senshi, never mind. They then start to brawl.
Yes, let's move on immediately.
They then start to brawl.
Yes, and then this is the thing. So Austin Starr then went and attacked the only judge that scored in his favour.
Yeah,
He
literally.
attacked Somalian Joe.
I know.
Who was like, yes, you win. What are you going in for? So that was a bit...
Disrespects Bob Backlund.
Yeah.
And Bob Backlund puts him in the chicken wing. What? We need to move on.
Not gonna lie, because
need
I
to
don't
move
care
on.
about this, I popped for it.
Yeah.
But you've ruined the entire... He'll turn immediately as it's
We need to move on immediately because, quite frankly, Sam, at this point, I'm starting to struggle.
Yeah.
And the
bad.
event doesn't get better.
It's bad.
Match number 4, James Storm versus Petey Williams. Oh, not Wildcat then.
No.
Oh, we're not doing that. We're gonna delay. So hang on, you do 17 rematches, and then the one that's got a bit of new feud from the last one. No, he's got to sell that injury for an extra month. Oh, okay.
Pretty much.
Great. So Storm in the build-up. Storm hits Wildcat with another bottle. So but will that get Petey Williams instead? Because Petey Williams. So Gail Kim's been given like an ultimatum, right? Be with Storm or Wildcat. Wildcat's might not wrestle ever again because he's blinded, so she's got no choice. And then the commentator said something that really made you go, "Oh, this is a problem." Gail Kim doesn't have many options. There isn't a women's division in TNA, guys. That's what they said on commentary.
Is there no women's championship?
No, not yet.
Oh wow!
It's going to happen either in this arc or when we do TNA after we finish Kurt Angle's first year. When we do, because we're going to come back and do. We're going to do when our next TNA arc will either be Christian in TNA or will be the new TNA World Championship.
So, has there been women's matches in TNA?
Have we seen one?
No. But this, I don't know if you knew.
There have been women's matches, but you've got women's wrestlers there, and you literally have said on commentary. It was almost like they're going, "We're saying this because we're about to create one." Don't say that. Don't literally go, "Don't come here for women's wrestling." That was one of the worst things I've ever heard said on commentary from a directive thing that needed to be said, because they're clearly going, "We're going to make a women's division soon." And I don't know if we're going to see it in our lifetime or like if it's going to be in the next arc when we do the TNA, the new TNA World Championship. Because I think we can pretty much get to the end of NWA here, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, oh no. But Gail Kim's got an ultimatum. She's really sad. Still not sad enough to do a little bum wiggle for the crowd, though.
Yeah. Well, you gotta get that in. Yeah.
This match is whatever.
It's a very whatever match. It's fine.
Undercooked spinning slam by Storm looked alright. Eye of the Storm, this like kind of get him into like a crucifix and spin past. Wow, love that move. Yeah. I forgot all about that move. That's a great move. And then we get a jumping code breaker because everyone was now doing code breakers before Jericho was doing code breakers. It turns out, because Jericho returns this year. Yeah. So then another roll up. That's now roll up number 3, and the first one was a last man standing. Cowboy holds the ropes to get the 3 count in 650.
I'm not bothered. It's really the stuff after the match is the real show.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. But the match I gave it 1.5, and again I think they can be. The only reason I gave 1.5 is because it wasn't the match before it gave 1. I think that's the only reason. And the story, this has nothing to do with Pete Williams. I was really confused what to do with the story because the story's with Wildcat, but they're delaying Wildcat, but the story's now Gail Kim. And I was really confused what to do. So I gave it 2 on the pretense that we're building something better because it's not a non-story, so there's not 1. Yeah. But why is Pete Williams there? Or because he was against LAX beforehand and he's Canadian, and it makes no sense. But yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
We got the afters though. We get in the afters. So Gail Kim is trying to tell the ref that, the person she's meant to be with has got the ropes. I thought you had no choice.
She's standing up for what's right, Sam.
But so then Storm attacks Pete Williams, gets handcuffs on him, gets the beer bottle.
I don't know where they came from.
Yeah. Oh, no, it was on her outfit.
Was that just part of her outfit?
Yeah, it was like a gimmick on her outfit. Yeah,
Sure.
exactly. But fair enough. It was there.
Okay,
whatever.
fine.
And she's going to go take the beer. But Gail Kim stops him, smacks him in the face. Storm was then going to hit her with the beer bottle, and you're like, Jesus, lads, and this is TNA in 2006.
Gail Kim's gone through already. I believe it was going to happen.
I genuinely thought that's what we were going to do to really push the heel aspect of it. But then low blow, and then Gail Kim goes mad.
Oh, I loved it. I just wrote, go on, Gail. I popped for this. I was like, go on. Gail Kim's one of my favourite characters in this.
I love Gail Kim.
Yeah,
Gail Kim's awesome. WWE ruined Gail Kim. They even brought her back. No. And did nothing. And you're like, what are you? If only she was 10 years older. That's what it is. Well, not 10 years older. She came in 10 years later. She would be a mainstay of WWE now and be heavily booked. And then she's about to use the beer bottle. Gail, calm it down.
I back it.
But then Jacqueline turns up.
That was such a random appearance from that point of view.
Been released by WWE recently, have we, Jackie? And she turns up in mom clothes.
Yes.
Not in wrestling attire, not in cool attire. She's in mom jeans. Oh no, death sentence coming in now so we got a new partnership: James Storm and Jacqueline.
Random, innit?
It's just no, it's not. It's so we can have James Storm.
No, I know why.
It's so we can have a woman and a woman.
No, I know, but it's random for those two to just randomly formalize.
But hello, Jackie. Welcome to the reviews.
I did write down it. Gail Kim really goes through the ringer in these few pay-per-views, doesn't she?
She has been flung, beaten up by Conan, and now was attacked nearly with a beer bottle.
She's been through it.
She is literally trying to say, just give me some women to fight.
Yeah.
Just let me have a. Let's. And do you know what they called the women's division, by the way, in TNA?
Go on.
Knockouts.
Oh yes, no.
They were called knockouts.
Yeah.
What's worse, or what's better, diva or knockout?
At least knockout sounds violent. I know that's not necessarily what they're going for. That's not the subtext of it. But when I was a kid and I saw, this is the knockout division, I thought, so the women have to knock each other out because I was not.
Yeah.
No, I know. So, but at least I think that sounds better than diva. I'm not saying we're comparing, great stuff here. But at least they're getting one.
Oh my God, I've just seen your notes. Yeah. Look at... Right, what's the first thing you've written down for the next bit?
Oh no. He's joking. So literally at the start of this next segment coming up, we've written, and we never compare notes.
No,
we have literally...
we never compare notes in anything.
No, you can see the
I just looked
one
because it was there, because you just moved. You just moved your notes back to see them. I've not seen your notes, and the first thing I see is in capital letters is oh no. Oh no.
So
no.
My second note is, Sam, this is the saddest thing I've ever seen in wrestling. Because they do the whole video package, don't they?
They do a video package. Yeah. Explain the video. In fact, we've got Road Dogg and Billy Gunn are up next. So they're outside, they do a video package, they show everything they've done with the DX thing, they showed them what we saw at Turning Point and Genesis, we see them outside WWE headquarters, they went to WWE Raw, and they're so
sad.
It's not quite DX in the tank.
Oh, is it not quite?
It's not quite. What losers. Oh, now they're coming out. I thought it was just a video package. No!
They come out, Sam. And you know what? Right, okay. So this little bit of a promo, obviously it's terrible, but I was coming in expecting absolute atrocities, right?
Oh.
Not in a good way.
No.
And this was like, if I expected it to be -10, it was like -8. It wasn't quite as bad as I thought it would be. And I actually was quite surprised he said something nice about Triple H, didn't he?
Yes, that really surprised me. We get the mildest VKM chant.
Oh, we really
The mildest. Like, it's so mild. Like, literally, if there was any heat that they had from 2 pay-per-views ago where you were happy to see them, to now, we have hit this is like the film Armageddon. The guy was up there with the telescope. Can you name after Dottie? I found this amazing thing. And then one bloke walks in and goes, they'll be dead in 17 days. That's what it feels like. And then Road Dogg comes out and he says, we declare victory on Vince McMahon and WWE. Do you? For what? Hang on. Okay, just to make this point. Luke Littler, Darts World Champion. I challenge you to a match for the World Championship. See who's the best. Oh, you're not answering me, Luke? Well, there it is. I declare victory on Luke Littler. I am better than Luke Littler.
That's the logic. Yeah.
You're going, fight us, we're more important. They've just gone, no. And then
they haven't even done that. They have just ignored them.
And they literally gone, we declare victory, we won. It's the saddest, you are the loserest things you've ever heard. How sad is that?
Oh, it's so sad. I just think
it is a child go, I win then.
Surely, right, it's Vince Russo, but I'm sorry. Road Dogg and Billy Gunn are agreeing to do all this stuff.
Oh, they are.
And for the company that made them.
Road Dogg did an interview with Chris Benoit not that long ago, because he obviously became SmackDown writer again. And he said, what did Triple H think? And anyway, Triple H went, so what was all that about? Was the conversation they had.
Because that would be my question.
Yeah, it would be my question. This segment of them declaring victory is the saddest thing. And then they start spouting off. So first of all, clearly Road Dogg feels guilty because he's going to be ripping on Triple H, but Triple H has just got injured again, and he says, "Heal your wheel." I mean, that's nice that he feels for that. Well done, lads. But at the end of the day, it's stupid.
Should never even have started talking about this anyway.
And then he carries on talking about Shawn Michaels after you just said Triple H. We don't want to see one of our own go down. You're like,
so are you friends or not?
Are you what? Then he mentions K-Fed beating Cena, and you're like, yes, we all thought that was stupid, but you don't need to mention it.
Who beat Cena, sorry?
Kevin Federline, Britney Spears' husband, in the first night.
I didn't even know that.
Oh, it's really bad. He cost him the world title at Taboo Tuesday or Cyber Sunday when they have Big Show, ECW, not Triple H, Booker T as world title, Cena, and the crowd or the fans at home had to decide which title was going to be on the line. World title, so immediately you knew he was going to win. K-Fed cost Cena the match, and Booker T wins, and then K-Fed takes on Cena on the first night of Raw. Umaga attacks Cena, and K-Fed wins. Right. Okay, it's really bad, right? But literally, and then we have the Trump and Rosie O'Donnell fake match, which is one of the worst matches in wrestling history. It's an abomination. It will go in the lockbox, Sam, because I stopped watching. I'm now 14 watching that, maybe even 15, and I just fast forwarded because it was two non-wrestlers, and they were in the ring for over 10 minutes.
So is Donald Trump having a match?
So this Donald Trump before he's obviously president. This is 2006. It's not Donald Trump. It's an impersonator.
I was going to say.
I would
have known if Donald Trump had a 10-minute match.
And Rosie O'Donnell impersonator. So two non-really.
Oh, so they're not even the. Oh God,
it's really bad. And all I just sat there was going, lads, just be separate. Don't mention it. Just be better. You were getting TNA chance. You even mentioned we were getting TNA chance. Good. Don't mention it. Don't go, hey, look, we got TNA chance.
As if it's like the World Cup trophy to you.
Yeah,
you know
literally.
What I mean?
It's like, lads, TNA chance does not mean you winning. It just means that they are hating what's on this. You know, if you say Vince sucks, they're going to chant Vince sucks. I get it. But just be better. Just go, right, let's really work hard to make a better show, and people will eventually come to us. But you made a bad show. Insane and mental, but a bad show. And then he finished off with, there's a new sheriff in town, and it's TNA. No, there isn't. Like, literally there isn't.
So isn't.
Like, if this was a police station, you're like a beat cop.
Yeah.
You're like a rookie on a beat cop.
Well, he also said because they didn't answer the challenges, he also then went on to call both of them a coward, and I'm like, you're calling a man who's just torn his quad a coward. He can't wrestle you even if he wanted to, which why would he?
But why would they wrestle you? For what gain? What gain? I don't understand what they were going for here. It just took up time, and you thought they were just going to do that and leave and put a pin, and then Christy Hemme comes running out.
I was so fuming at Christy Hemme.
And we've just done. I educated Sam on the Diva search, so now you're a bit more familiar with Christy Hemme.
Yeah, well, I'm even more familiar now. I was so angry at her.
Oh, she comes out. She's really emotional, sort of.
Yeah.
I could get fired for this. Don't know why. What about China? You keep mentioning Triple H, but, you know, what about China?
Why was she so emotional about it?
Because she thought she might be fired was the idea here.
I actually didn't mind that point. I was like, but where are we going with this?
And then she said, like, she wasn't just a blip. She's not just a woman in a man's world. I was like, okay, why are we suddenly making this a sex thing? Because they were talking about Shawn Michaels and Triple H.
Yeah,
you know,
no sense.
I'm not disposable. I want to wrestle too. They're really pushing that we're going to have a women's division.
I wrote down that Christy Hemme is disposable.
Yes,
to be frank.
Why does she sound like a heel, but she's saying babyface things? She's saying, I want to wrestle, women deserve better, and all this jazz. And she's coming across a real heel. And what are the crowd chanting? We want wrestling and boring. And she was there going, I want wrestling too. So they're not saying that. They're saying, go away so we can watch matches. I respected at least
Christy Hemme trying to at least go with it. But literally, the fans are literally like, shut up, we want wrestling.
And then it goes even worse. So Road Dogg does quite a nice little thing. He kind of goes, I understand your point, I'm sorry. And you think, this will be nice. And they can kind of make them like a babyface in terms of, and they'll make push. And then Billy Gunn takes the microphone and says, let me tell you something, you little
I watched this, I was like, oh my God, imagine Sam's reactions to this.
They're baby faces!
Well,
women are good for two things. And you're like, it's like, Jesus Christ. And then she went, women are good for two things. Our bodies, that's not a thing to say, Christy. And putting men back in line. And then she slaps Billy Gunn, who then goes to attack her, but is stopped by... What is happening on this show?
Yeah.
This is one of the worst segments I have ever seen, and I can't believe we had to do it in a review.
Oh, it's the weirdest segment I've ever seen. It made me miss the whole anti-WWE storyline, which I thought was impossible.
And now you realise, oh no, this is what we're doing now. VKM versus women.
Oh yeah.
This is where we're going.
It was madness. It was like, so obviously this is like to the 15th degree of it, but it's like, you know, we've all been in that place where you've got your like separate friends from separate friendship groups. You got your feminist friend talking to your less progressive friend. It very much felt like that for Road Dogg, but times 1,000. Yes. It was like, it was just, where did this come from?
Why were we doing it? Are we trying to make a point about women's wrestling? We're trying to make a
Because
point
it's
about women,
almost like they're
and then call her a.
yeah,
I
it's
don't-
almost like they're reacting to maybe online backlash saying why aren't women wrestling, and they're kind of using it as a way to vent what they think about it. Isn't that women?
But
shouldn't
I'm
have
just going to say the one final thing. They're the baby faces.
Yeah,
They're the baby faces here.
It
Why
was
is Chrissy
pretty
Hemming a
wild.
heel in this? Why is she coming across as a heel? Why is she a heel? Can we move on, please? This upset me to my core.
Well, it was mad because it was like, well, why was Christy interrupting them specifically? Like,
Because she never mentioned China. You didn't
that's
mention
the-
China.
so
Johnny Lawler.
that didn't make any sense. So it was like, sure, Christy, I get what you're saying, but what has it got to do with the price of fish at all? Like, it was just so random. And then you kind of like, where's this going? Because surely you're setting up friction between them. The Road Dogg's kind of understanding, and I'm like, right, okay, this is the first time that Road Dogs look like a reasonable human being. And then Billy Gunn does it. And you would think, okay, maybe it's a heel thing, but not in 2007. It was just a mess. And I have nothing else to say about it, really. I'm kind of just done. I was so delighted it was over, to be honest.
I'm moving on.
Yeah.
Backstage with Team 3D.
Oh.
The Dudley Boys' first appearance on
Yeah,
Slams on
it was
Wrestling.
nice to
Just
see.
full stop. We haven't talked about the Dudley Boys pretty much at all.
No, we haven't.
Actually, is
No.
8 months. What are we on? 8 months, 9 months
Ish.
into. We've never really talked about the Dudley
No.
Boys. How fascinating! They've taken out Conan. No,
I know.
no Conan promo.
I
No
know.
cat boom.
Oh,
Oh.
sad about that.
Then they said LAX haven't accomplished anything. Who's saying that? They're the tag champions.
They've done a lot of things. They've won every match that I've seen them
Oh
wrestle.
my god, they have something we want. Then they've accomplished something.
Yeah.
And then Sting appears.
Randomly.
Have you seen Abyss? We're on TV here, mate.
Yeah, and also-
just wait. We're on TV.
Also, aren't you facing him later? Like, I think you'll see
wait,
him.
Wait for him then.
Yeah.
We'll see him in Gorilla.
Yeah.
Match number 5. It's LAX versus Team 3D for the NWA Tag Team Championships. A title that the Dudleys have never won. And then we get this weird thing, storyline, Spike Dudley, Santa, drunk. What's happening?
I was very lost here.
Where'd that come from in the 3 weeks we've been gone?
Oh, well, I was watching this and I was like, I
Weren't
didn't know.
they feuding with the tag team that we saw in the first ever show at Genesis? Where did those lads go?
No clue.
Where they won their match that night against who cares and who cares. Where'd they go?
Don't ask questions, Sam, because they don't know and you don't know either. I wrote this because I didn't know that this was actually a wrestling character at the time and this was going to go somewhere. I thought this was a random guy.
It's
I
Spike
wanted that
Dudley.
Santa. I didn't know this, that it was Spike Dudley at the time. I just wanted that Santa to have kept his wig and been kayfabe real Santa. They should have made him fat and then border toss him. I wanted them to border toss the real Santa Claus. That would have got magnificent heat. But then we get into the match and the stipulation is, isn't it, that there is going to be no outside interference.
No outside interference.
Immediately I wrote down, I
Who's
feel
gonna
like it's going to
interfere?
be outside interference.
This match also, there's nothing to this match.
Yeah.
Like, I can run down this match in like 4 bullet points. Homicide spits his gum at Bubba Ray. Bubba then picks up the gum, eats it, and spits it back. That's gross. That's just gross, Bubba. Don't do that. Rock bottom by Bubba Ray.
Not as you do.
Better than the Rocks.
Yeah.
Then they do the was up without saying was up. 3D pin. Pin them.
Yeah.
Pin them. Why are we not pinning? Is it because there needs to be someone to walk out? You can do the fake let's get the table spot. Just pin and you win the titles.
Yeah.
Pin. Oh, here comes Spike Dudley dressed as Santa. And Drunk Spike gets to the top rope. Pin him. Still pin him. Still waiting for you to pin him.
Yeah.
And he just does a dive onto Hernandez. DQ. What's this?
This, I literally wrote down, I may never have seen such a finish.
This is rubbish.
I got to this point in the show and I was like, the booking is literally ruining this company. It's holding it back so
It
much.
really
because You've
is.
got some good storylines,
Stars.
some great stars, some great promos, some really good wrestlers. Like, you've got all the ingredients apart from
Vince
the booking.
Russo.
Vince Russo is ruining everything. It's like,
Could you imagine if Paul Heyman was doing this?
oh, Sam, it would be wonderful. It'd be like ECW
He was
again.
available.
Yeah, exactly.
He was available.
He was available. And he nearly went to TNA at one point.
They just didn't offer him enough money.
No, I know. But this is just abhorrent. I hated it.
I'll give it the match a 1 star.
That's generous.
Storyline, I will give it 2. And they can thank me for the 2.
Yeah.
Because at least they're doing something.
I know, but the crowd was so flat because, of course, people. And I just thought to myself, right, if you've paid for this pay-per-view,
Yeah.
or if you're there watching it live and I paid a ticket, you'd feel so shortchanged.
The worst thing is, right, normally when we're doing these reviews, we want to do jokes and we want to have a laugh. And the last one, we were making jokes and we were coming in and we were talking about wrestling and analysing it. you'll notice the venom on me because it just went constant. We had the terrible paparazzi thing that was just, it took so long and was boring. Then we had James Storm having that terrible thing and Miss Jackie. Then we had this tag team match. And then we had the DX thing with Chrissy. It just literally was in a row about an hour of some of the worst. I genuinely I nearly stopped this, but I had no choice because we were going to film this pretty much like a day or so.
I wouldn't be watching this recreationally.
I literally was there going, I got work this evening, I've got to watch this. And I was there going, I'm going to have to try and maybe make jokes or make really salient points, but my head had gone.
You just got to call it for what it is. Like, if there's stuff to joke about, we can joke about it. But this
my head had gone.
It just is. And people look back at this part of TNA really is one of the prime moments of TNA because WWE, frankly, was pretty rubbish.
It was.
And people go back, this is the golden era of TNA. And I'm just thinking, right, this must be rose-tinted glasses here. Or WWE was that bad that people could kind of...
Well, it's just very memorable.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, this is not good or fun for me. I'm not enjoying myself at this point.
No, I am now not having fun.
Which I was for the first two.
Yeah, I'm not having fun.
No.
The results of the text vote, Sam. They've been doing a text thing all night on who do you think was going to win between Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe. All night, so you can spend $1 and text who you think will win. No prize for texting in, by the way.
No incentive.
No prize, no incentive to text in. You know, it's a Twitter poll, but for $1. And apparently they believe that Joe is going to win 57% to Kurt Angle's 43%. Apparently.
Who cares?
Thanks for screwing us over. Samoa Joe promo. Hang on a minute. Are you not main eventing?
I saw this. Yeah.
Hang on. In the first pay-per-view, normal, Kurt Angle, Samoa Joe, because it was Sting versus Abyss. That's the bigger match. Fair enough. Next one, then you had the triple threat for the NWA title, Kurt Angle, Samoa Joe, in a normal match. Okay. They put it on again. Fair enough. And now you're giving the same triple threat match with no added extras, apart from it's now elimination. Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe are having a bigger match, a more important match, and it's not the main event.
Madness.
What? It's not like anything happened at the end for you to then need that match to go first.
Well, I saw the video package and I was like, oh, they're doing the GMO thing where you do the main event later on the hype.
Yeah, you've got the second section, and then it's match 5 main event, and you're like, shouldn't there be a break in there?
Yeah. So that's what I thought was going on. I thought we're getting that later, and then Joe's music hit, and I was like, oh, this is now. I also wrote, Jeremy Borash, by the way, truly is everywhere in here.
I love Jeremy Borash.
He covers every blade of grass. He must get so much steps in because he's interviewing people everywhere.
Do you know what? If he was on a football pitch, he's in Golo Kante. He's covering so much ground. Can we talk about the Samoa Joe promo? Because I got distracted very quickly. Because he went, welcome to the climax.
Yeah, he did.
That was the match I thought Joe and Angle would have. Match, maybe Match.com. Maybe Love Harmony, For 30 minutes, I will pummel you. Okay, it's Tinder now. Love Honey, maybe.
Switch pace.
Kurt, I promise you will be broken. What is Hyman? Where are we? I got so distracted.
These are Vince McMahon texts.
I got so distracted. It was so corny and innuendo-laden. Climax, I'm going to pummel you, you'll be broken. After having all that stuff happen, I think my brain was just trying to protect me. Match number 6. It's Kurt Angle, Samoa Joe in a 30-minute Iron Man match. The winner gets a shot at the NWA World title. Permanent clock on the screen.
That's it.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
5 minutes in, we've had a shoulder block and some uppercuts.
Yeah, well, considering Joe and Angle can absolutely go, I feel
half
like
an hour, no problem.
They padded time a bit too much.
Going for pacing, I assume. Then, but issue with an Iron Man is straight away. It's slow pace. There's some of the best Iron Mans of all time. Fix that, but the majority of them are just slow and boring. Like you watch the first one with Shawn and Brett. It's one of the worst matches in history because they do nothing because they can't fill an hour, and these guys don't have to fill half an hour.
And they can.
Yeah. And this is the problem I have with Iron Man. It's slow pace and usually weak falls, Yeah. But I expect more from these two, so I'm expecting it to pick up. Belly to belly. Still looks incredible on such a huge man, doesn't it? Every time.
Absolutely.
Camera zooms in on the sleeper hold, and we're watching Joe and Angle have a chat.
Oh, yeah. Oh, does that later with Christian as well.
Guys!
Yeah. The camera work is iffy.
When you see them having a chat, move! Yeah. But the problem was Angle and Joe weren't on the hard cam. They had to go to the side cam, so it's like, is the reason they weren't on the hard cam? Because they didn't want to have a chat. We're now 10 minutes in, mainly rest holds.
Yeah.
There's no intensity. The submissions they're using are rest hold submissions. Like, Like, if Joe is the cleaner clutch is so devastating, like, but just put it on. Try and put it on.
Yeah.
He's in a sleeper hold.
Yeah. I think there's going to be a lot box thing for us later on where you've got stars who have a submission hold finisher and they're doing a submission hold that's really similar and you can just immediately change it and do that.
Literally, sleeper hold, into cleaner clutch, you've got it. I don't get it. Like, it was really weird.
It's odd to me because, like, right, you're going to get selling later on in the match because they're going to be, kayfabe fatigue. So I just think, why not be quicker now?
Yeah.
And then you justify the selling.
Yeah, exactly. I'd go for pace and then go for quiet in the middle. I thought it was weird.
Because Kurt's not going to get gassed.
No, not at this point.
No.
And Joe's still fit and strong.
Joe's great, yeah.
Joe dives through the ropes, barely caught by Angle. The commentator asked for a replay. Lads, he didn't catch him.
That's
They
right.
botched it, and the truck went, no.
Yeah.
Coquina clutch. Angle taps. Hang on a minute, lads. Wait a minute. Right, I was going to do a gimmick in this.
Sure.
And I actually had it at the top, and you'll see it on my page, on my little page. I've got a little thing there, right, written down, because I was expecting them to counter the cleaner cuts and the ankle lock 1,000,000 times, because that's all they did in the matches before. It was constant. And I talked about that when you're like, no, that's great. And I went, but it was constant. And then they would win with each of the moves anyway. And I'm like, but you know how to counter it.
Yeah, fatigue's the thing, and they might have it been better.
But they did. The Coquina clutch, 10 minutes in or whatever it was, and Angle, I can't get out of it now.
Hold on, Sam, I have an answer for you. Now, I know your counter argument already because they've not sold it like this. That I think what the point is that because it's early in the match, you want to tap quickly when you get in the submission so you don't get damaged.
You can get him in the ankle lock and then maybe win a win.
Easier said than done, perhaps. I don't know.
From what I saw in the last two pay-per-views,
I know.
really simple, apparently.
Yeah.
Oh, and then ankle lock with a leg vine, Joe taps 1-0. Counter it! You got to the ropes in the last pay-per-view. Why have we forgotten?
It makes sense because Joe doesn't want to get the damage on
No.
ankle.
If we hadn't had the two matches prior, I'm with you. But we've had the two matches prior
I'm trying
where
to help
all they did, and I literally was going to do a counter. That was going to be the gimmick I was going to have. How many times did they counter it? And they just didn't.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, never mind then. Ankle lock, leg vine again. Joe taps 2-1. Okay, really? So remember that guy who was undefeated for 18 months?
Yeah.
Tapped a lot recently.
Yeah, that's the problem with your ankle. I don't think he's actually been pinned yet as we're doing
He's done
this.
a lot of
but
tapping.
Yeah.
He's a bit of a wuss pants. Ankle being twist sliding. Oh, hurts too much. Can't deal with it.
Well, ankle lock didn't make Hogan tap out. I think we could say it's a pretty good submission. But I know I get your point.
Because Hogan's never been a submission move. It wasn't a camel clutch.
True, yeah. But yeah, I think you don't want roll-ups is my point. So you'd rather this than getting roll-ups.
Yeah, I agree.
You want at least them to be finished. But I get the tapping.
But now we've got a problem now, haven't we?
It's 3 taps.
Yeah, 3 taps, yeah. Muscle Buster. Angle. Angle's fine. Oh, no, 3. 2 all. Okay. Fair enough then. Whatever. I thought your ankle was going to be in pain after 2 ankle locks, but apparently you can just do a Muscle Buster to cut angle and then start setting. Not the second time.
See?
So 7 minutes to go. Ankle lock, leg vine. Unleg vine. Why did you unleg vine the leg vine?
I thought that, yeah. Because they were kind of always going to get more leverage and move them about. But
every time you put the leg vine in, you win. And you already done it earlier, twice.
Yeah. No, I know.
But it was countered when he stood up. Counter into a roll-up. 3. Another roll-up on the night.
1, but yeah.
3-2 to Angle. 4:30 left. Muscle Buster. Angle gets feet on the rope. 1 minute left. Joe puts the ankle lock on. Angle. Hold on. Angle wins 3-2. He's the new #1 contender for the NWA World title. Thank you for finally putting someone better in the world title picture. Sam, what did we think of the Iron Man between Samoa Joe and Kurt Angle?
I think it was a good match. It was. I think we're just judging it off of Angle and Joe's standards.
In the grand scheme of things, we're disappointed.
Yeah, I think as you go on paper, this is going to be absolutely like one of the best matches we've seen because
I was excited when I heard it.
Yeah, I mean, it should book itself. Samoa Joe and Angle in an Iron match. And you know what? This isn't Vince Russo's fault.
No.
And I just don't think it delivered. I don't know why.
I don't think it delivered. I gave them 4s for the 1, and we had the storyline build up. I think the storyline's better. So that's an improvement. But I don't think they played into the story into the match. They were getting more. They said this is more personal, and then they had a wrestling match.
It seemed like it could be a copy and paste Iron Man match that the general formula of it is something that anyone could really. Yeah. I didn't mind the whole thing if they kind of did a call back to the Brock and Angle one where Angle's nearly tapping. And I think it got better, as most Iron matches do, towards the end where...
you're getting close to the end of the time.
Joe needs a fall and Angle's kind of running away. That's a good story.
The problem with time limit things, isn't it? I gave the match 3.5 stars, half star less than their other matches. It's still good, but I wanted more.
Yeah.
And the story is a 4. because it's now up to really high class level. It could have been a 5 if they had the match to go with it and the intensity. They didn't have the intensity in the match. They just had a wrestling match.
Yeah.
They had more intensity in the 2 before when they weren't as heated as this. I think these 2 didn't pull it off, personally, as well as they could have done.
Yeah.
Sting promo. Okay, right. I didn't really listen as I was having an epileptic fit at the time.
Yeah.
Sorry for any of that. I don't mean to make that joke. I apologise, but it was just strobe lighting.
No.
I felt ill.
Sam, my first note was good thing Sting doesn't have epilepsy because what's this about?
What was going on?
It's so distracting. It's so distracting. I can't focus on what's going on.
And then Abyss, and they turn up and they said something about a dumb animal, and they chokes Mitchell, and Abyss doesn't stop him for some reason. But it's a chat that Sting. I stopped listening. Yeah. It was really distracting. Oh my god, I don't know what was going on here.
I know, really funny. There'll be people who watch wrestling
didn't
who
say
have epilepsy.
I know they do that strobe lighting effect and all that.
So maybe you wouldn't watch
that,
it anyway. But come on,
good grief! I tell you what, I would hate to have just there was a thing back in the very very early Pokemon days, right? In their first season, they had a Pokemon called a Porygon, right? And he was like a computer Pokemon, and they went into this computer thing, and Pikachu did a Thunderbolt, and it flashed blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, and it caused 50,000 seizures of children in Japan. It's really famous.
So that's not even if you're epileptic.
No, it caused seizures. So this could have caused and literally, Porygon's never been seen since. And it's it wasn't Porygon's fault. Pikachu did the You should have got rid of Mickey Mouse, shouldn't you? Really? But yeah, and I was just watching this, going, I really hope no one actually does have any medical, because it was. This wasn't like an entrance. It was just backstage.
It was so distracting. I didn't like it.
No, I didn't either. Main event time for the NWA World Title. It's Christian versus Abyss versus a Sting. This time it's an elimination triple threat match. Who wanted to watch this match again?
Not I.
Not I. Tomko has a secret about Abyss. Ooh, I hope it's who Abyss has a crush on. Maybe Samoa Joe can give him some numbers. Mitchell is starting to lose control of Abyss. Does Sting have control? Why is this for the title? Why didn't Christian win the title in the last pay-per-view? And these two could have just pissed off.
Well, that's what they finally realised they could do.
The thing I said to do. When I said to you in the last pay-per-view, I went, do you feel that Christian put this to win the title? And then he didn't. I went, oh, I thought Christian won the title here. And it turns out I was thinking of this triple threat match. It turns out I was like, why didn't we do it again? And then they have a little cage for Tomko.
I like it.
Couldn't afford to raise him.
Nah,
no shark cage.
Oh, I wouldn't trust the TNA to raise me. If I was Tomko, I'd be like, I'm staying firmly down here, thanks.
And there's not much to talk about. There's like loads of little things in this. Like, Abyss gives Sting ring postitis. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
What was that? Ring postitis. It was the Good Brothers versus Big E and the New Day. They took Big E out of SummerSlam, and they had pots of like eggs, and they went, "Here's Xavier with the little one." I was like, "Good grief,
that's bad."
That's WWE and whatever it was, 2014 or whatever it was.
16.
Christian Bulldog onto the ramp. Fair enough. Frog splash, caught into a choke slam.
Cool.
Nice, liked it. Catched into a choke slam. Kicked out at 2. Never mind. Tomko is choking Sting through the cage.
I like that.
Hang on, we've all been to the zoo. We know the rules of the zoo. Don't go anywhere near a cage, lads.
Exactly.
It's Sting's fault.
It's
Sting's fault. Okay, but it distracts. It causes a distraction from the ref because Abyss has just hit the black hole slam.
Yes.
Just wait. Why do people never wait?
Well, but also the ref's also stupid because it's a triple threat. It's no DQ anyway. Just count the 3. Do your job.
Why are you dealing with that? It doesn't matter. Literally, he's in a cage. He's near the cage. Scorpion death drop. Oh, Abyss is eliminated.
I thought this was a good move.
But it's like 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's the problem.
What a loser! What a loser!
Well, they clearly could have had more time, but no, we must have the Christy Hemme and DX segment.
You're a loser. Loser.
Very disturbing.
John Laurinaitis.
Oh, I see.
Come on, keep up with my references.
John Laurinaitis ever doing that?
John Cena was doing it to Laurinaitis. He went, "You're a loser. You're a loser. Loser." No, you can talk now.
Thank you.
Loser. You need to find that. So Abyss is gone. He's a loser. Never mind. And then he refuses to attack Sting, and he just walks off.
So you think, okay, like kind of a face turn, okay?
You think, okay, but bye. Press slam by Sting. Fair play.
Oh yeah. No, I wrote that down.
Play.
Fair dues for Sting being really strong. They also got a lovely little shot of Christian talking to Sting.
Yes, we had a chat.
Again.
Another chat. Yes.
I get that camera work is very difficult, so I do have sympathy.
Especially with a six-sided ring.
It is
but
flawed. You know, you've got to be more on the ball with that. So just if you see it cut away immediately type of thing, they lingered on it. But I was impressed by the gorilla press. I was happy actually because I thought to myself, Sting versus Christian is probably what this should
have been the main event. Yeah,
should be the match.
Well, why not take the title off Abyss, put it onto Christian in the Blast pay-per-view, have this match, and have Abyss get involved to carry on the Sting feud afterwards.
Yeah.
That's what you should have done. Just throwing that out there.
Makes sense.
Stinger Splash. Stinger Splash take 2. No, he missed. Superplex. 47-year-old Sting, so old. Oh, past it, that 47-year-old, because 47's really old, Sam. If 43's past it, wow. Sharpshooter. No, I will not call it its move that Sting calls it. It's a sharpshooter.
Scorpion Deathlock.
No, it's a sharpshooter. But Mitchell lets Tomko out. So, okay, Mitchell's helped Tomko.
Well, he wants to spite Sting.
Yeah,
so
okay. So Tomko does essentially a shell shock, but Sting kicks out. Okay? Where's Jim Cornette? Put him back in the cage, Jim!
I wrote down...
Jim, put him back in the cage!
I wrote, why do we always have to have shenanigans in every single match? I'm so sick of it.
It's constant. Every match has almost had it.
It's riddled with
Hang on, let's go through them, right? So the first match of the night, did that have any shenanigans?
First match, yes.
AJ sat down, that's kind of shenanigans.
It is shenanigans. It's not a proper finish.
Yeah, but not a proper finish. Triple threat, that hold the tights.
But I don't want it.
But held the tights, so not clean heel heat, but held the tights. Then we've got the Dudleys. They had their DQ.
Oh, that's absolute shenanigans.
That's absolute shenanigans. The shenanigans in this main event. Kurt and Joe technically has no shenanigans.
Well, there's shenanigans in the James Storm match as well.
Shenanigans in the James Storm match. I forgot that existed. So this is just a series of non-finishes, bad finishes, hating all of it. Sick of it. Anyway, who cares? Because Abyss is back now anyway.
Well, I wrote down this is a great moment from Abyss because I thought this is the face
turn.
I thought, great, fantastic. And then Sting hit Christian with the Unpretty. I thought to myself, that should have been the finish.
That's the finish.
Because I hate it when wrestlers never win with a stolen finish. And
they never do, no.
This is perfect because you've just had the turn. No, that doesn't end it. And then it's just all got ruined, didn't it, Sam?
Literally. So, does the Unpretty by Sting, kick out, screw your finish, you kick out your own finisher. That's why I don't like it. You kick out your own finisher. Yeah. Ref bump, again. How many pay-per-views now we had a ref bump? Jesus. Sharpshooter to Mitchell, but a chair shot by Abyss. Top rope frog splash by Christian. And he becomes the new NWA champion in 13-18.
Exactly. You could just see it coming a million miles away because you think, they're going to team up on Mitchell, but then Sting gets him in the Scorpion Deathlock. Abyss is still holding the chair. It was so obvious. You could just see it coming. As soon as Abyss came back out, you could see it coming.
Thankfully, we've got the world title away from this Abyss Sting feud.
And I did say to myself, at least Angle versus Christian should be really good.
Yeah, if we get that.
Oh, yeah.
If we get that. Yeah. Just throwing that out there, Sam. If we get that match.
Oh, dear.
But yeah, the match I gave it 2.5 because it was fine. The storyline with the whole Abyss thing, I gave it 2.5 because it just isn't going anywhere. The control thing, the heel turn, the Mitchell thing. Mitchell also happy that Christian won as well. It was weird. I didn't get it. So in conclusion, we'll go into conclusion. That's the end of the show, end of the night. Christian Tall. I average out all the scores. I give an official score out of 10 for the thing based on all the scores as an average. Came out as 4.4.
Yeah, I get that.
And I think that's to do with a lot of the storylines concluding. Because the matches aren't great. Because the thing, it beat Genesis 3.9, but that had no storylines.
Yeah.
So some of the matches were better, but it had 0 storylines. That's why it's 3.9. So 4.4 I got. So Sam, what did you think of this current pace of final resolutions?
Rubbish.
It sucks.
It's rubbish, Sam, and I wish I could be more overjoyed. And I thought to myself, maybe part of it is that for the first one, I was like, this is really new presentation. So I was, unawed by the presentation, the voice guy, the pyro, the shots and stuff, because it's really different from stuff I've seen. So that's worn off. So I thought maybe I'm being a bit harsh because now that's worn off. But I think if I went back and watched, Genesis or Turning Point, I'd prefer it.
This is just a bad show.
Rubbish.
There isn't a single match that you go, that was a great match, go and watch that. Angle Joe, maybe, but if you've just watched other Angle Joes, if you watch it on its own, probably fine. But because we've just watched 2 others over the last 2 other months, it's not that great. I'm happy that hopefully in the next pay-per-view, we've moved on from all this. Maybe we get a bit of Wildcat Storm storyline. Sting and Abyss can be on their own, doing whatever shenanigans. Christian's the world title. Hopefully Angle can move on from Joe. Maybe not. Who knows? Women's wrestling, maybe. Who knows? Dudleys are now involved. Maybe we could have some more Dudleys. Walking Brawl. Who knows if this spike thing will go on? This wasn't a good show.
It's very deflating to me.
It was. I nearly turned it off.
Yeah.
I nearly had. If I had more time, if I'd watched this 3 days before we were filming this rather than the day beforehand, or 2 days beforehand, sorry, I think I would have turned it off and come back to it.
The first two to me felt like, okay, it's kind of cool. Like, I go watch it. Obviously, I wouldn't be watching it otherwise because we didn't have it first, but it felt enjoyable. It didn't feel like homework. This felt like
homework.
I'm having to do homework.
Yeah.
Just watch this so I have to put down some notes.
It sucked. It sucked. But hopefully this is just a blip in the road and we've got some more crazy, fun Kevin Nash shenanigans to come. Thank you very much for joining us. What did you think? Have you go and watched it? Because it's on YouTube. You can go and watch this whole pay-per-view and come back and watch our thing and see how we go. It's all free on YouTube. Thank you very much for joining. Go watch the rest of our arc if you haven't seen any of the other TNA pay-per-views. We're going to keep doing this all the way to the end of the year. This is Kurt Angle's initial run in TNA. Thank you very much for joining us, and we are Sam's on Wrestling.
Samoa Joe.
On Love Honey.
Samoan Joe.
Climax.